this week's Eva and Franco reading was it actually helped me understand more of like what we read at the beginning about Dark Mover and all that stuff. And like, first off, I read Stolen Pieces, right? And it was very like cool. I thought it was cool that they went to like each museum and they started stealing pieces, like super random stuff like bottle caps, tape. They did TV buttons. They did, what else? Pieces of wood, pieces of textiles, and it was from all different artwork, because even Franco actually thought that it increased the value of the art pieces, kind of. And I mean, it's kind of true, because art increases its value as it shows its history, because like they said in the book, they at the Sistine Chapel, I think it said, they had a sign and it was removed after a while because of all the yellow candle marks. And that just goes to show how long that piece has been there, and it's been there throughout a lot of time, and it's been ages. So not only have you seen it, but many people from the past. And many of the artists that they stole the pieces from, they didn't get mad actually. They just thought, their art was valuable and it would gain more value because of what they stole from it. Let's see, I read what was it? Darko Malver one, and just how he was a Yugoslovakian artist, if I'm not wrong. And he did his work as in with wax and pieces of textiles to do body parts, and he would leave them at hotel rooms and places where people would go and find them and will be really shocked. And behind his art, his meaning was that he wanted to show what was really going on in war and make the people aware of what's going on, because they're being so blinded by what they're just seeing on TV. They're not really paying attention to any of the important stuff, like all the killings that going on. And they called that his art was politically incorrect, because he exposed the brutality of war, which is something that they needed to see to really have a wake-up call. Like, look what's happening outside of this box that they're giving you. They're just feeding you what they want to feed you and not really telling you any of the important stuff. And the Hollywood, which is it's a mixture of Europe and Hollywood, I'm guessing. And it was really weird at the beginning how there was like 2020 and then 2005 and then back to 2020 and then back to 2005, how they were portraying like how war was going on in North Korea and South Korea, and how it would be in 2020, and then how in 2005 it was just Eva and Franco and their other third person sitting down having coffee, making this what do you call this outline of like they wanted to create like the movie, you can say, which was called United We Stand. And it kind of like they talked about like how United We Stand, the movie, it was not to have a bombastic attitude toward America, because just because like, oh yeah, they're the heroes, America, because they were gonna step in and like stop this war, but more like how they portrayed it in 2020, like, which was that a bunch of people, or the president called this lady called Susan, I think it said, and like because of her, millions of people were out there protesting, and that's what, like with peace stuff, and like they all became one, and they were all united as one, united we stand, and like it helped stop the war and everything. And then about the It Means What It Says chapter, or part of the book, it was how they had a plaque put up, and it was to like encourage the public to reflect about the urban environment. and the historical heritage of the power developed over the living. So kind of like saying like, oh yeah, you know, it said, oh, this building isn't the worst out in town, but it isn't the best also. So it was just kind of like also a wake-up call, like, oh, look at your surroundings, like, don't be too into one thing and just, you know, stick with that. What else? Yeah, kind of that, you know. It was just pretty simple, and it just, like, I read other stuff that people saw, and then it went missing, too. There you go. And people were kind of wondering, like, you know, where did it go? What happened to it? So it kind of added historical value, because now they were wondering, like, you know, what happened to it? What did you, like, people were like, what did it say? What did it say? You know, like, did you read it? Blah, blah, blah. So it was remembered after it was stolen. So, you know, things that get stolen, they get remembered, kind of like back to the stolen pieces they did at the other part I read. And then the 6 o'clock one was pretty, I love that part. So cute, Mickey hanging himself up and everything. I mean, that's not the point. The theme of that was kind of like, you know, culture also can die when it's frozen into a cliche. That was, you know, quote from the book. And kind of like, you know, everything dies at the end, even after, like, even if it's cultural, like, because new things are coming out and then things are forgotten, and then they end up, like, being at the back of our minds. And how they did it in the book, how, like, you start off at the beginning with Mickey with a tray of skeletons eating itself, and then at the end he's hung up because, you know, he died. Just how now, like, Disney is still out and everything, but new things are coming out. Children are liking other things, and we're just, like, developing bigger. So, you know, not just television wise culture dies, but, you know, culture as in our religion and everything is changing because of cliches and everything. And that's kind of like, you know, the awareness, kind of like everything was just like it tied into, like, awareness, like opening your eyes and just seeing what there is now. Stop being stuck behind what you see in media and internet and all that stuff, you know. Go out there and just explore. And that was this week's Eva and Franco. Very interesting. I liked it. Very good chapters. And yeah, I can't wait for next week's project.